Good morning, or if, depending on where you are, maybe it's afternoon, maybe it's even evening. I don't know. We've got some people from overseas. I'm Larry Lesser, and my co-chair, Dennis Pearl, is in the other rectangle there.
Hey,
Um,
Larry.
I We welcome you to Voices 2021, and let's see. I'm going to share my screen and start us off with a very quick history of voices for those who may be new. So VOICES stands for Virtual Online Interdisciplinary Collaborations on Educating with Songs. The C originally stood for conferences, but as you'll see in just a minute, we have done more than just conferences. So we changed it to something more general, collaborations. Anyone who works with Dennis Pearl knows that having a good acronym is an absolute requirement. I assume you know our website from being able to be part of us already. We've got our logos from our past years. In fact, I'm rocking my Voices t-shirt right now, as you can see from a previous conference. Let me figure out how to advance to the next slide. Here we go. So in terms of how we've been able to pay for this, we had a grant in 2015 called Project Smiles, which stood for Student-Made Interactive Learning with Educational Songs. Where we made interactive songs for statistics. And there's the website at the bottom of the screen if you'd like to check those out later. That grant was me and Dennis and John Weber. But about halfway through the grant, we realized that, the things we're learning about statistics songs really should work across any STEM discipline. So why limit the fund just to the stat song community, right? And so one of our one of the STEM songwriters for Project Smiles was Greg, and so we tapped him to help us envision what voices would look like, and he chaired the inaugural conference in 2017. Another voices person, Monty Harper, was also a Project Smile songwriter. So this really grew in a very organic way, and we knew that Greg was a great person to launch for us because he was a past organizer of a sort of similar effort called the Science Songwriters Association, and he also compiled a database of like 7,000 STEM songs, and he's written many articles about it. If you haven't read his stuff, you should. You can find it. There's plenty of it out there. And then in 2018, he co-chaired the 2018 conference with the awesome Tiffany Getty, who you see a picture of on the stack of books there. And then Getty did that conference in 2019 as a solo flight. That's a subtle reference to her background, and she actually is a pilot, so she does a lot of things. And of course, Dennis and I are co-chairing this year. And we feel very excited and fortunate to be able to do the conference this year because since the first three conferences, the grant funding ended and a pandemic began. So many people might have said, well, that's going to be the end of Voices, isn't it? And we just felt like, no, we should be able to figure out a way to keep this going. And so we're very excited to have done that this year. And we are totally open for people to step forward to take some sort of leadership roles in the future. So get in touch with us if you get excited about some aspect of what we're doing, and we will find a way to plug you in. This is there's a lot of opportunity. We are not trying to have it all for ourselves by any means. Okay, so as I mentioned, the online conferences, we archive them on the website afterwards. And so just from the first 3 years worth, that generated like about 100 presentations. And so even if only 100 people or 50 people can actually attend in real time, it's wonderful that we have this as a resource so that if you know someone who does this kind of thing and they find out too late to attend, tell them, well, you can still watch all of the sessions and look at all the posters later. So be sure to continue spreading the word if you know someone who would enjoy this. The talks indeed have spanned pretty much all the major STEM disciplines, but also it's gone beyond that to include people have talked from backgrounds of English, education, media communications, performing arts, the health sciences. So that's been really nice that the circle continues to expand. Participants have come from not only at least half of the states of the US by now, but also a number of countries. I assume this is a complete list, but I might have overlooked someone. You can let me know in the chat window if I missed your country. But so far in these 4 conferences, I think we have managed to have one or more people from Canada, the UK, Ireland, Australia, India, Scotland, and the Netherlands. And so again, that's one reason why the timing of the sessions today is such that no one has to join us at 3 in the morning, hopefully. So we really welcome you from all over. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about Voices. It's, you know, the number of people that sort of come out of the woodwork. I mean, they're everywhere, but the trick is sometimes finding where they are, because, you know, there's one person here, 2 people here or there, and finding where the rest of them are so that they find out about us and we find out about them. That's sort of an ongoing thing. So even though we have maybe 200 people on our big mailing list at this point, we know that there's a lot more people out there that do this. And so if you know of people that really should know about us, please help spread the word. We've been very excited to get coverage ranging from academic journals, such as the current issue of Journal of Humanistic Mathematics, to a couple of years ago, we had a blurb in a story posted online in Forbes magazine. So that was very exciting as well. So, and we've had some things in blogs here and there. So in addition to these online conferences, we've also managed to do some in-person work meetings. And just as we've had 3 prior conferences, we've had 3 in-person prior work meetings. In 2017, we gathered in San Antonio in conjunction with a conference we were attending with the College Music Society, or I guess ATMI was Association for Technology and Music Instruction, I think is what that stood for. And then in 2018, we had the really big meeting. You can see us gathered around the dinner table there. And I think all the names there were in the credits of the trailer video that you just got to watch. And we had a writing team that stayed an extra day at the Denver meeting, and you see the photo we took from that as well. And then in 2019, we stayed for an extra day after the United States Conference on Teaching Statistics meeting at Penn State, and did some further connecting there. So we made good use of our time and money to get a real diverse set of people together, and so that was very exciting. And so on the Voices webpage, there's a pull down tab that says projects, and you can see a list of what the projects were that we brainstormed at that Denver meeting. Some of them are still active projects. Some of them we've run into logistical challenges of one kind or another, and others we've just modified. So at the bottom of this slide, you can kind of see where we're at now. We are still looking to do a survey of instructors to see who does what and why not. And Tiffany Getty is the best single individual to talk to if you're interested in about that, because she is doing a version of this as her dissertation in her PhD program. And so we are really looking forward to finding out what she learns from that. Another effort was to get sort of like a database of all of the songs so they could be easily findable and searchable in statistics. If you've been to the CAUSEWeb Fund Resources Collection, you will see that we have a curated collection of, what is it, Dennis, almost 200 songs now, almost all of which have sound files, so that even if you're not a musician yourself, you can just hit play and people can hear them. But we're looking to sort of hit highlights more and have each discipline identify sort of a quick 20 songs that sort of are representative of lots of different things you can do with songs in that discipline. So Dennis and I have the list for statistics, and we're hoping to also get lists for chemistry and biology and physics and so on.
And some of those we're highlighting now as edutainment pieces in between the talks during this conference. You'll see a lot of great music there, and we're really excited to have that. It's a little bit after 12 now, so wanted to thank everybody that's on the presenters today. And Larry mentioned he hopes that nobody's going to be online at 3 in the morning. And I don't know if Tracy is online right now, but she's going to be giving her talk at 4 in the morning in Australia. So not quite 3, but if she's watching now, thank you for staying up. So we have a great conference. We have keynote speeches by Raven Baxter, Raven the Science Maven, and by Lana Israel from Musology. We have sessions starting with the one coming up here. You're seeing the slide introducing that, and as well as some video sessions. Our presenters are around the globe, as Larry said. We have 4 from Great Britain, 1 from Australia, and 4 from the US. So we're excited to see the conference going. At the end of the conference, you will find a post-conference survey that was composed by Patricia Barrientos from University of Texas, El Paso, a graduate student there who is going to also try to gather some information on people's use and attitudes towards using music in STEM education. So please fill that out when you get it after the conference. The link will be up on causeweb.org.